because you're magic, magic people to me. You're magic people to me. So hold your head up high, let your voices fly. Be proud to be Māori. Proud to be Māori. I am Ngāti Kahununu ki Wairarapa. I am te kotahitanga o te Aotearoa. I am a Whittaker's chocolate lover. I support the Milwaukee Bucks. And I love Beyonce. My name is Maysen Hineraukura Pappafloratos. And I am endeavouring to be unapologetically Māori. So what does it mean to be unapologetically Māori? Does it mean that you wave your tino rangatiratanga flag everywhere you go? That you are fluent in te reo? Able to recite your whakapapa 20 generations back? Or that you are simply proud to have the blood of great rangatira coursing through your veins? We often judge our ability to live unapologetically Māori by a rating system, as if it can be defined by the things you have acquired throughout your time on this earth. I believe it is instead a state of mind, not a CV that details your Māoriness. For 2 centuries, New Zealand has been governed by a monocultural narrative. Don't get me wrong, I love what other cultures bring. My last name, Pappafloratos, is Greek. But we must never forget, first and foremost, that Māori are tangata whenua. This is our land. Aotearoa's culture is our culture. We must stop apologising, sympathising and compromising our values to make other cultures feel welcome at the expense of our own people. Our Māoritanga has been stripped and peeled back piece by piece for generations. Māori are resilient. It's in our nature to be forgiving, but enough is enough. We can no longer allow Pākehā to live in ignorance. This is Aotearoa. You wouldn't allow someone to enter your own whare and disrespect it. So why do we continue to allow tauiwi to do that here in Aotearoa? I'm not even talking about the Karens that live in their hermit shells of racism. I am talking about highly paid people in public positions, like sports commentators and politicians. How many times do I have to watch our leaders read the prescribed pepeha off a piece of paper, only to butcher the pronunciation of some very basic words? The average member of parliament earns just under $200,000 a year. That's more than our teachers, our nurses, police officers and other public servants. You would think that with all that money, they could afford to take a basic te reo Māori course. No, I'm not saying that our teachers are exempt from this, as I have heard my teachers on several different occasions ask my peers if their names could be shortened. Sometimes they do not even have the courage to admit that they cannot pronounce our names. They will simply butcher the pronunciation and swiftly move past it, as if they didn't just drain the mana that our names carry. For years we have settled for the excuses like, at least they tried, or their hearts were in the right place. The excuses are greater than New Zealand's current mental health system. To be unapologetically Māori means we set our expectations high, and we do not lower them. If their hearts were in the right place, then they would learn. They say that a leader sets the tone for their people. Well, what message are they sending out? It's a message where te reo is only important on the grounds of waitangi. As a rangatahi, I am endeavouring to be unapologetically Māori. This is something my tupuna did not have the luxury of saying in public. I am proud of who I am and my accomplishments. I'm a head student at Kapiti College, on the verge of achieving both level 3 Māori and level 3 English. In fact, in English we are currently studying a novel called Pride and Prejudice. pride and prejudice. Reminds me of many people I know trying to tear down our Māori pride due to their everlasting prejudice. I do not need a hashtag to be proud of my Māoritanga. I'm trying to live it unapologetically 24/7. I see my personal Māoritanga as a korowai, something that over time has been adorned with aspects of my individual history, layer after layer. Now, korowai were and continue to be so much more than a source of warmth or something to wear on a special occasion. They are what bring you down to the mara every Thursday to spend time with your kaumātua. Whilst you are wearing a korowai, you are wearing the stories of your whānau. And in doing so, you carry their wairua with you. As a child, I would remove my korowai each day as I entered school. I wanted to fit in. I didn't want to be different. Wouldn't you? But after all these years of removing my korowai, I can now say that I am unapologetically going to keep it on forever. Being Māori is not a trend. It's a timeless tradition. And I'm secure within myself where I do not need to follow anyone else's rules for being Māori. I make my own, and I do so unapologetically. Now that word, unapologetic, it means not acknowledging or expressing regret. Imagine that. A world where our rangatahi Māori would not have to express regret for being who they are. One where the society they grow up in will not force them to veer off the path that their tupuna had laid down. In its current state, New Zealand society is expecting a kakono to grow into a tōtara and a self-serving pine forest. It just doesn't work. Not when our names do not hold enough value for you to pronounce them properly. Not when there are tauiwi living on the land that was stolen from our tupuna. And not when we go to school and are expected to be exceptional, just to be accepted. Throughout my time in this country's schooling system, I've had a front row seat to sit by idly and watch it fail our rangatahi Māori. By the time they reached high school, on average, Māori are at least a full curriculum level behind non-Māori. And research has confirmed that teacher bias and low expectations are the reasons behind these poor results. So for those who are holding on to their ignorant ways, Rawiri Waititi said, we must be the constant. That annoying people in their shoes are reminded to change their ignorant ways. It is no longer enough just to be Māori. We must be proactive. Our culture is valid and valuable. Our tupuna fought for the right to be Māori, and we must honour them by living our lives unapologetically. So if you want to break out into a hakaera for more Pākehā then, karawhiua, give it heaps. Being unapologetically Māori means we never have to pretend we are something we're not, like allowing non-Māori to put us in positions where we are forced to fulfill Māori stereotypes and tick their boxes. Being unapologetically Māori means knowing that whānau comes first, except when it's dessert. Then it's everyone there for themselves. Being unapologetically Māori means knowing that kaitiakitanga is not just a job for the Department of Conservation. It is a way of life and a mindset. Being unapologetically Māori means carrying the weight of your ancestors' wisdom and the hopes for your descendants' futures. It means being a po, a steadfast and unyielding pillar that supports our communities and uplifts our identities. A po like Dame Whina Kupa, Matua Apira na Ngata, Tamaeti, and our current New Zealand of the Year, Rangi Mātaonga. So what does it mean to be unapologetically Māori? It means that we live the values of our ancestors in kaitikitanga, whanaungatanga and manaakitanga. That we uplift our culture with pride despite their prejudice. And that we acknowledge the past, honour the present, and prepare for the future. I am Ngāti Kahurunu ki Wairarapa. I am te kotahitanga o te Aotearoa. I am a Whittaker's chocolate lover. I support the Milwaukee Bucks. And I love Beyonce. My name is Maysen Hineraukura Pappafloratos. And together, we can be unapologetically Māori. Ngā mihi.